Hi, welcome to Galactic Jamie. Each week I come on here to talk about my two favorite topics, outer space and nail polish. This week, the nail art that I'm doing a tutorial for is really random and out there, and it also is a little bit of a fail. But first, let's talk about outer space. So what I wanted to talk about today is an object that Scott Shepard, David Tulin, and Chad Tarullo had discovered out in our solar system. So before we get to that specific object, I wanted to talk about a different object that they had discovered previously. So back in December of 2018, Scott Shepard's team announced that they found the furthest away object in our solar system. So this object was titled 2018 VG18, or they nicknamed it Far Out. But a month after the announcement of the discovery of the furthest object in our solar system, Shepard's team observed another object that's actually further away than Far Out. I imagine someone on the team that's just sitting there like, hey, you remember this object that we observed that we said was the furthest out object in our solar system and we named Far Out seeing as it was so far out? Yeah, well, there's another one. Yeah, it's actually a little further out. So there was actually another object further out that's orbiting in our solar system that they found when they were trying to observe the furthest out object. So this object is called 2018 AG37. And the team decided a new nickname for this object. Since the last object was called Far Out, they decided, hey, why don't we call this one Far Out? Hey, what should we name this object? I mean, we already named an object Far Out. Hey, I have the best idea, bro. Why don't we name it Far Out? Yeah. So Shepard's team has observed this object a few times since its first discovery. And because of those observations, the Minor Planet Center allowed its announcement, which they announced on the 10th of February in 2021. So just a little while ago, they announced that this is the furthest out object in our solar system. Since it hasn't been observed for very long and we cannot confirm its complete orbit path, it's not able to be named yet. So once its orbit is more confirmed, it will be numbered by the Minor Planet Center. And then once it's numbered, it's able to be named. So Far Out is just a nickname for it, and one day that'll actually have a real name once it's been observed more. So how far away is Far Out actually? So they believe that Far Out is 140 AU from the sun. So AU is basically a measurement. It's called the astronomical unit, and this measurement is based on how far the Earth is from the sun. So 1 AU is about the distance from the Earth to the sun, which is 93 million miles, or 150 kilometers. That's also 8 light minutes. So with that being said, Far Out is 13,813,017 miles from the sun, or 20,943,701,896 kilometers from the sun, if you wanted to know the kilometers. So that's estimations, but still, that's really far. So I guess Far Out totally makes sense for its name. Far Out is the most distant object in our solar system that has been able to be captured in an image by a telescope. So I think this is super interesting. Hopefully we will be learning more about this object and learn what it is. So they believe that it's on the low end size of a dwarf planet, but it'll be interesting to see as technology grows and as we observe it more. So right now we believe it passes through also the orbit of Neptune, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we find out about Far Out. So now that I've talked about space, it is time for the nail art portion of the video. So for today's nail art tutorial, I did something really random and out there, and I'm going to tell you basically what inspired me. So I found this nail polish by ILNP, which is called Sunday. And as soon as I saw it, all I could think of was cherry PopTarts. I mean, it literally looks exactly like the frosting on top of a cherry Pop-Tart. So I was like, why don't I do nail art based off of that? So for today's nail art, I decided to do a cherry Pop-Tart themed manicure. And I gotta say, it did not turn out as well as I envisioned it in my head, but it was still fun to do. And if you'd like to see how I did it, keep watching. As always, I start all of my manicures with a clean, dry nail and base coat. Today I'm using the OPI Natural Nail Base Coat. This just helps the manicure last longer and keeps my nails protected from staining. So next I'm going in with the color I'm going to be using on my accent nail, where I'm going to be doing my nail art. So this is Baby Boy from Eternal Cosmetics. I just wanted a really nice light blue to go well with the cherry Pop-Tart colored polish. So this polish I'm going to be putting on all of my nails except for that accent nail, and this is Sunday from ILNP. And I mean, look at it, like it literally looks like a cherry Pop-Tart. As soon as I saw it, that's all I could think of, and now all I want to do is eat cherry Pop-Tarts. So, just so you know, cherry Pop-Tart is not my favorite flavor. Wildberry, especially wildberry with those like sprinkles on it, that is the best. But cherry's really good too. So now I'm going in with a second coat of all of those colors on each of my nails. Like I said, I'm doing the Baby Boy color on my accent nail, which I'm doing my ring finger as my accent nail, and then the Sunday color from ILNP on the rest of my fingers. I think the line that ILNP came out with, this hatched line that includes the Sunday color, is just a really unique, cool line. I actually have a couple other polishes from that collection, and I'll be doing more nail art with that later this season, but they did such a good job with those colors. So now I'm going to put some quick dry top coat over all those nails, and today I'm using Orly Sec N Dry. This just helps the polish dry quicker. It's just always good to put a top coat on your nails, and I'm also doing it on my accent nail, so if I make any mistakes with the nail art, I can go ahead and fix it without messing up that base color. So now I wanted to go in with a color that looked like the pastry part of a Pop-Tart, and I didn't have that color, so I'm mixing two colors. So I'm mixing Top Priority and White on Time, which are both Sally Hansen Insta Dry colors. So I'm trying to get that really light tan color to make it look like the base of a Pop-Tart. Now, when I did this, I did not realize how much the Sunday color would blend into this color once it was on my nails. I probably should not have gone as light as I did with this color. I probably should have kept it darker just so there would be more of a difference between the two. So this is one of the reasons I called this tutorial kind of a fail, but you'll see as I keep going why I envisioned it better in my head than how it actually came out on my nails. So now I'm just kind of drawing a square or a rectangular shape on the nails, and I didn't want to make it super square or rectangular. Like, I wanted it to be a little bit uneven, because if you look at a Pop-Tart, like, it's never perfectly rectangular. So I wanted it to be a little more uneven and kind of like rough around the edges. So that's what I was doing. Also, if you noticed, the Insta Dry nail polish started drying as I was picking it up with the brush, which means it was kind of rough going on there, but I mostly was able to salvage that, so it wasn't too bad. So I'm using the cleanup brush and a little bit of acetone to clean up those edges a little bit more, and since I did that quick dry top coat, it's not removing that base color of blue when I do this. Obviously you don't want to press down too hard while you're doing this, or else it will remove the base color, But if you do it lightly, it's pretty easy to just remove what you want to remove from the top of your nail. So like I said, I'm just squaring up the edges a little bit, and I do want to keep it a little uneven, just like it is in an actual Pop-Tart. So now I'm just taking a little bit of that Sunday polish, and I am putting it on with a smaller brush on top of that to create the icing on the Pop-Tart. And like I said, I wish I had gone maybe a little bit darker with the pastry shade or something, because I feel like the icing blends in a little bit too much, so you can't tell too much the difference. I still think it looks kind of cool. Now, in the future, I would definitely do it differently, or I would just go with a different color scheme. Now that that's all done, I'm going ahead and putting a matte top coat over everything, because I think it's gonna look even more realistic with the matte top coat, seeing as Pop-Tarts aren't necessarily super shiny. So I had to go ahead and pose with the Pop-Tart just so you could see what it looks like compared to the Pop-Tart. And I think it turned out okay. It wasn't my best look, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So I still think this nail polish looks just like frosting on the cherry Pop-Tart, and I mean, that's really fun and different to do. And yeah, it was a little bit of a fail. But hey, you know, not every single manicure is going to be phenomenal. I mean, some of them are going to be fails, and that's okay. Guess what? It comes off, you paint it again, and I mean, it's not permanent, so who cares? It's fun to try new things anyway, so why not? Why not try the most random, weirdest nail art and then just wipe it off when you decide you don't want to wear it anymore, or if you don't like it. So have you had any nail art fails? I'm super interested to know. Tell me below. I want to know. Has anybody else had a spectacular nail art fail like me? I would like to know. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And also, if you love outer space and nail polish, go ahead and subscribe to my channel right now so you don't miss any of my videos. I hope you all have a stellar week. Bye!